kule nyanga kaMarch sikhupha i-World Consumer Rights Day ezobe ingomhla ka-15 kuyo le nyanga, kanti isikhubulo salonyaka mbukeli sithi making digital marketplaces even fairer. Lena-ke indaba ebaluleke kakhulu esikhathini sanamuhla ngoba phela mbukeli yonke into isebenza ngetechnology. Sesize sakhohlwa nokukhohlwa ukuthi konje sasiphila kanjani kungakabi bikho ama-computer nama-cellphone. Ngiku-Alisha uNhlanhla kaJali nginibingelele nonke emakhaya ngithi nje namhlanje sondelani sixoxe sithole ulwazi siphinde sifundisane as per usual. Ungashayela ucingo la e-studio 011-714-6919 and 714-6918. Ungasithumela i-email noma usithole kuma-social media network ethu asibhekisise udaba lethu la namhlanje mbukeli. Mbukeli ukufika komakhala ekhukhwini phecelezi ama-cellphones bekuhloze ukwenza ukuthi ukuxhumana kube yinto elula. Kodwa-ke ngokuhamba kwesikhathi ama-cellphone asesebenza njengamahhovisi, umtapo wolwandle, amabhange, kanti futhi sigcina nemininingwane yethu eyimfihlo futhi ebalulekile kuwo. Kodwa-ke njengayo yonke into ehlose ukwenza impilo ibe ngcono, bukhona nobungozi kuyona. Ukulahleka kwe-SIM card noma ukwenza i-SIM swap kubeka umthengi engcupheleni yokuthi athole ukugetshengwa. Izigebengu-ke zisebenzisa ubuhlakanipha kwama-SIM card ukungena kuma-bank accounts abathengi zintshontshe imali yabo. Ubuchule Putin wenze naluphando.
Abathengi bazifaka kubuqhetseba bengaqondanga. Ngenxa yolwazi oluncinci bafaka iinkcukacha zabo kwi-internet. Kwizixhobo zonxibelelwano kwaye neminye imisebenzi ekwi-internet.
So the first part of it, it starts where the criminals actually acquire all this information. They now sit with sufficient information on a particular person. In that process, not only do they access your personal information, but your confidential information like bank details, like your card number, your CVV number, your expiry date, because they need all of that to do an online transaction.
Umenzi wobubi lowo uyaqhagamshelana nexhoba elibonisa ukuba i-SIM card yeselula yakhe yonakele kwaye indlela yoyilungisa inye ngeyokuba kwenziwe i-SIM swap. Emveni kokuba umthengi ekholelwe eliqhinga uye acelwe awucime unomyayi wakhe ixesha elingakangeyure.
At that point, they then contact the mobile service provider and they pretend to be you. They now have sufficient information that they can answer all kinds of questions when the mobile service provider's call center or whoever prompts and asks for this kind of information to verify that they are in fact talking to their client.
Xa eyivula kwakhona umthengi iselula phone yakhe, ufika izikrelemqa sele ziyithathele kuzo ulawulo lwenombolo yakhe. Oku kwenza zikwazi ukuzenzela kwi-bank account yexhoba. Abathengi bakhuthazwa ukuba bavundle kwaye baqhagamshelane nababoneleli benkonzo zabo ukuze baqinisekise ukuba sikhona na isidingo sokwenza i-SIM swap. Ngaphezu koko baqhagamshelane kwaneebhanki zabo.
The important thing is always safeguard your personal information. We can't even emphasize this enough.
Ubuchwepheshe beselula phone bungenza ubomi bethu lula njengabathengi, kodwa bunako ukwenza indlela zobuqhetseba zibe lula.
Into zama-SIM swap, it's also important for our network operators to ensure ukuthi lo muntu lo ofuna i-SIM swap uye the rightful person who owns that particular number without just agreeing to a SIM swap nje over the phone.
Eliqhinga licebo elinye kwamaninzi amasela aye awasebenzise xa besiba iinkcukacha zezazisi ngenjongo zokucoca yonke imali ekwibhanka yomthengi. Imfundiso kubathengi ngeyokuba bangaze benze i-SIM swap emnxebeni nomntu abangamaziyo. Buchule Putin, Yilungelo Lakho.
Sibonge kakhulu kwintokazi ubuchule Putin ngaleyo mbingo wethu. Manje ke mbukeli asamukela ivakashi zethu phela namhlanje sinaye insizwa uLorato Tenkeng oyi-media analyst kanye nobhoti uPaseka Maleka yena uvela kwi-ICASA. Gentlemen, what a pleasure. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Good afternoon.
All right, let's start with you, Lorato. Tell us a bit about yourself. You're a media and online analyst. Kahle kahle lo msebenzi owenzayo uchaza ukuthini?
So, Alicia, ordinarily we try and help organizations and companies look at a way of, one, communicating their messages effectively on social media, because if you consider the social media landscape report of 2017, there were about 12 million people on Facebook alone, right? And if you consider that there are banks that are already using Facebook Messenger to facilitate transactions. So social media is not only becoming a tool of communication, but it's also becoming a tool where even some of these services like banking comes there. So ordinarily we try and help them to say, what are some of the things that people are doing on these platforms where you can then capitalize on this social capital, and then you are able to then say, listen, without being intrusive, and that's the other thing, right? Because remember, when I'm on social media, I'm there to do my own things, right? I'm there to engage with my friends, to interact with my friends, and then I don't want a brand coming and, you know, selling,
infiltrating my space,
right? And then we then find ways of saying, how do you, if you're looking at Alicia as an example, maybe you are into makeup, right? And they want to sell you the latest lipstick. How do they get to you without making it a sales pitch? Yes.
I see. But Paseka from ICASA, I mean, nibandanyeka kanjani kulolu daba esilidingida namhlanje nini?
Ngiyabonga Alicia. ICASA inkampani yakahulumeni. Kakhulukazi sibheka ukuthi siya license ama network providers, not only them but broadcasting services as well as postal services. So sibaneka kakhulu kule ndaba ngoba we normally encourage people to come to us bafaka ama complaints wabo mangabe banenkinga ezifana nalezi. Akuyona lenkinga lekuphela, amaningi futhi inkinga esihlangana nazo, like ama complaints afika kuthina from our network providers, be it yona SIM swap fraud that happens, but ngizochaza masiloku sikhuluma la ukuthi singenelela kanjani kulelo daba. I mean, ama billing complaints, quality of service complaints afika umuntu akanayo network la hlala khona, and then ufuna ukwazi ukuthi ngithola kanjani network ethize, then ngoba network eyi-1 kuphela esithola khona la ngihlala khona. So into enjalo, so we get ama complaints anjalo, then siyawa resolve.
Look, gentlemen, looking at insert here too, does it seem to you that people are very informed about the current trends ze fraud when it comes to SIM cards?
Unfortunately not, Alicia, and I guess our premise, so ordinarily what we try and do is to say, we must remember that people care about the things they care about, right? And what that means is that ordinarily, even if an SABC were to run an awareness campaign on any project, for instance, in this case, if we're running an awareness campaign on SIM swap fraud, because people are there to do, maybe they are there to check what their friends are doing on Facebook, or they are there to at least engage with or other activities. The likelihood is that they will miss that message. So there's that first part where people pay attention to the things that they really want to pay attention to. But the second part is that we have a very low culture of reading, right? An example is how many times have you downloaded an app and there's a small tick box that say sign up terms and for T's and C's.
Yeah.
And because you see when it's small print, it's low,
you just go click on it
because you want to access the app. So the biggest challenge is that the low culture of reading, but then you realize later that we are actually getting ourselves into some trouble.
But I mean, how rampant then is this SIM fraud? Has ICASA done some sort of research, and can you give us a number?
Well, sithola ama complaints amaningi, but not that much, especially when it comes to SIM swap. And I'll tell you why. The reason being ukuthi phela la mawuthebheka indaba SIM swap fraud ibandakanyeza amaphoyisa, ifaka amaphoyisa ngaphakathi, ifaka ICASA, ifaka ne-banking ombudsman. So there's 3 jurisdictions in this particular issue. Okokuqala nje umuntu, for instance, uzoza kuthina nje athi nenkinga so kube ne-SIM card fraud enzakele, and then thina singena lapho ngokuthi, remember thina we are responsible for activation and deactivation of a service. So that's when people start coming to us and saying it's a complaint that is. So thina we're going to do an investigation on that particular issue ukuthi kuze kanjani, sibuza ama network operators kuze kanjani ukuthi le SIM card yalo muntu by swap, by the SIM swap.
Without their permission.
Without their permission.
Yeah,
how did you deactivate their SIM card?
You know, but Paseka, I'm going to tell you a very interesting story that happened to me Mbugeli ungaindawo, because this issue is a really, really serious one. And if ungenalo ulwazi, you really need to be paying attention. Siyabuya khona manje. Bogeli, welcome back. Ingcingo zethu seyivuliwe kusungashaya ucingo 011-714-6918 or 714-6919. Ungasithola futhi kuma Facebook as well as ku Twitter, as well as usithumele email ku consumer@sabc.co.za. Ngihlali nensizwa la uBhuti Lorato noBhuti Paseka basidingidela kabanzi ngokuthi kahle kahle Mbukeli kwenziwa kanjani mekwenziwa le SIM fraud, and what are some of the things wena ongazenza njengombukeli ukuthi ukhuseleke noma uvikeleke. Just before we went to the break, but Paseka, I wanted to tell you that I had a contract, bengine cell phone contract, and angazi ngaphandle komunye umuntu unless kumuntu osebenza khona la service provider. How would this person have known ukuthi contract time is coming to a close? Wahamba umuntu wakwenza SIM swap, wathatha ifoni entsha. Without my knowledge, I'd never given the service provider permission to give this person ilokuzana to give this person a new phone, and wathatha a very expensive phone. I had to take indaba to the NCC. So these things do happen, but uthini wena ngaloko Bhuti Paseka?
Yeah, yabona lezi zinto vele ziyenzeka, and then kaningi uzothola ukuthi abantu basebenza khona ibona nje abana kuba ne problem. Earlier on I was trying to explain, and I'll tell you why ukuthi Masenza, like I was talking about the deactivation of a service, just like you say,
yes.
it was your service was deactivated without you knowing.
Without me knowing.
So investigation ethina sizoyenza lapho ukuthi sifuna ukwazi ukuthi kwenzeke kanjani. Ubani ofonile afuna ukwenza SIM swap ngasiphi isikhathi.
But it's an online transaction that was done. Ngathi mengibabuza ngathi mos lo muntu menikeze address, because i-address yami ne-ID number nekheli, those things are not going to be the same. How could you let that through? They couldn't give me an answer.
No. I mean, in that case, you must lodge a complaint namaphoyisa. Isicelo emaphoyiseni so that bazenza uphenyo kuya phambili. Ngoba makunjalo nje there must be somebody who handles those things. This thing cannot be done nje ngomshini nje ukuthi so wenza SIM swap. Ayisebenzi kanjalo. Kunomuntu ade sebenza lapho. So you should have insisted ukuthi bayenze a further investigation, or even come to ICASA to say this is the problem enginayo, and then kuphelele kanjena, so ngiyenze kanjani, so that sizokunikeza advice. Ngoba our initial investigation helps you. In the case of SIM swap and in the fraud yakhona mhlawumbe umuntu imali sehambile, in that case umuntu, the only thing the person cares about imali yakhe. Akanandaba nokuthi kwenzeke njani, but it's important to have that initial preliminary information, because it will assist to know ukuthi who was handling the matter, what time, kanjani, ngoba kaningi lama SIM swap things ama fraud enzeke ebusuku. Then that's the main question, ukuthi kanjani enzeke ebusuku kanjani abantu balele.
Look, Lorato, maybe do tell us, do you feel ukuthi lezinto, like as it's been widely speculated and suggested ukuthi it's possibly internal jobs, abantu abasebenza khona kulama banks namalokuzana nama service providers ibona laba bakhola udawu ukuthi benze kahle ukuthi benze lobugebengu?
So there are 3 instances that we found out, right? The first one is the report of the insider job, right, where ordinarily people have access to information, and they're either approached by these fraudsters to then say, listen, we need help because we need to access information such and such, and then they do that, or they do it out of their own, and then they get involved in that. The second instance, which is the most interesting, particularly around the social media, the problem here too is that we overshare, right? And oversharing in the sense that ordinarily if I were to search Alicia Jali now, the likelihood is that your social media profiles will come up. When I click on them, one of the first personal data that I find there is your cell phone number.
Fortunately not.
Right, in your case. But in many people's instances, that information is there.
They even have their email addresses there. I've seen that.
Yeah. But the second layer to that, Alicia, is that there are many apps now where they say, access this next app using Facebook as an example.
Yes, right? That's true.
So you're then giving a lot of applications permission to access your personal information. So what these fraudsters do is that they scrape the social media for your personal information, right? So that would be the second. The third part is that they then monitor your movements. Remember, because of that oversharing, You're telling us that I'm checking in, I'm in Mozambique,
Yeah.
I'm with Bay,
Yeah.
we're on vacation.
On vacation.
Right? On vacation, I had an instance when I moved, when I went to Mozambique on a project, right? I could not quickly port my, or at least get my number to be able to have access to my numbers, or at least my calls, because of some issues and all of that.
Yeah.
Then it means that I had a 3-day lag where I could not have
access to information here for
so because I was
incoming
checking
messages, nothing.
Anyone who then knew that Lorado is in Mozambique is then able to, because remember they've scraped the net. Yeah. They have my personal details. They can then say that we know that he stays at this place, because remember they ask you a few typical questions, yes, like what's your address, and they do what's the last or amount that you topped up with.
Security questions.
In your case, because it was a contract, you don't have to top up, right?
Yes.
So what are they going to ask you about ETA? So those are just some of the problematic issues where our oversharing as consumers actually become a problem that we are creating for ourselves.
But Paseke, then who would you say is the most vulnerable group here, Bantu, if there is such a, if we can label them as such, when it comes to such fraud?
Everybody is at risk. Wonke umuntu sonke sisebenzisa ama cell phones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way in which we communicate these days. So everyone is at risk, and then okusemqoka nje ukuthi abantu bafanele babe ne bayivikele bona self over and above what government needs to do in terms of policy. Kwamanje I can say clearly ukuthi there's no the whole issue of consumer protection, especially when it comes to this, all across the world, they're still grappling with that issue. All across all the regulators, simply because it means yokuxhumana ishintshile. Abantu sebasebenzisa ama cell phone, social media, all those things. Data, we want data to go down. Yes, it can go down, but now, what are the other risks involved in there? Loss of identity, hacking, all those things, because as Unorato was saying, you give away your information.
That's true.
Because I mean, there are no free lunches. They can say, here, you want this app, then so phone services. Only there are no free lunches. Somewhere you have to pay either way. Ish. And how are you going to pay? With your own data, with your own cell phone, with your own identity. Absolutely.
I'll start our very first caller on the line there. We've got Lerato Katlehong. Thank you so much for joining us. Lebohang, rather, from Katlehong. Sagamugela, umbuzo nomumbon. Siyaphila ntokazi unjani wena? Sicela ubuze futhi Lebohang.
I-ID bethola kanjani bengaliphethe bayenzayo?
Okay, Lebohang, I'm going to ask you to move away from your TV set, ntokazi asikuzwisisi kahle ne, and then ask us that question again.
Okay,
yes, please go ahead with your question.
I was asking what the heck
okay, Lebohang, I'm sorry, my love. We really cannot hear that question. If I'm going to try and ask my producers to call you again, we're getting a very bad feedback. Mbukeli, sicela musifonela uzama ukuthi wehlise umabonakude wakho so that mina nawe sizokhona ukuthi si communicate. And let's quickly check on Facebook ukuthi nithini before we go to an ad break. All right, Ukusela Mgezana uthi Yilungelo Lakho. I can't really see, it's very blurry now. Alisha esisihloko sanamhlanje sibalulekile kakhulu kuba iSIM swap into esiyithanda ukuyenza rhoqo. Umbuzo wami ingaba sebekhona yini bafunyana batyolwa abanxumelene nohwaphilizo ololu hlobo. Who can answer this, Paseke? Do you think there has been prosecutions that have been made and have been successful in relation to Ilokozana, iSIM fraud?
Yeah, that's why I was saying there's 3 jurisdictions there. There's ICASA, there's the banking ombudsman, there's Amapoisa. And then Amapoisa would respond much better on that one because it's a case of fraud.
Yeah.
So we encourage abantu ukuthi even abantu mabathumela ama complaints wabo lapha ku ICASA. Sibathumela Amapoisa after engaging ama service providers, we also send them to the police to say because it's a case of fraud. You must also you still have to open up a fraud case Amapoisa so that bazokhona investigate further ukuthi kwenzakaleni lapho. So in terms of the stats as to bakhona abantu babanjwa or kanjani, well, we wouldn't know that, but the police definitely give us a response in terms of that.
All right, okay, Mbukeli ake sibeke lapho kwamanje siyabuya khona manje sithatha ingcingo zenu ama Facebook messages and your emails. Yilungelo Lakho, we'll be back shortly after this. Welcome back. Mbukeli, ngabe uyi-fraud wena, ngabe uyi-victim ye-sim fraud, sishayele ucingo, siyatholakala futhi la ku-011 or 6919. Usendele i-email, usendele ama-tweets. Let's quickly look at your tweets before siqhubekela phambili nodaba lethu. I know there were some questions from Uphindile Shabalala. Uthi, mina ngicela ukubuza ukuthi kanti uma wenze i-sim swap ayivaleki yini le sim card osuke ilahlekile ngoba phela uthola ususeyikweletini kodwa ube wazi ukuthi sim card yakho why block but pasek kade uthini si off air.
No icabanga uma wenza sim swap kusho ukuthi le sim card le yakho yakudala isasebenzi so kusebenza le yentsha angithi wenza sim swap. So that's exactly what the criminals are doing. So they basebenzisana ngazi nobani but ekugcineni they deactivate your sim card and activate theirs with the same number. That's why le yakho ingasebenzi ngaleso ngoba ngeke kusebenza ama number u2 ngesikhathi esisodwa angithi yabona so kinjalo.
It's a very confusing thing this. I hope uthi uphendulekile lapho ntokazi asithathe uSiphiwe all the way from a Lady Smith. Siyakwamukela ohlelweni umbuzo noma umbono Siphiwe. Siphiwe.
Hello ma.
Unjani Nsizwa?
Siyaphila mali njani nina?
Siyaphila Nsizwa, qhubeka ngombuzo noma umbono.
Umbuzo wami mara kule muntu osabe wathi ule eJoburg. Manje what uzomi ifuna wese
all right, Spiro, we're really struggling with your line, Putwami. We can't make out what you're saying. I'm going to ask my producers to just find out what's going on. Maybe we are experiencing some issues with the lines. But, gentlemen, let's quickly continue here. Before we went to ad break, you know, you were talking about something, Yamapoisa, Putpasekuguti, you need to involve Amapoisa. But how much help are they in terms of Uguti Benze Show, Uguti, whatever information you might have lost, Uguti Baga Sister Uguti, for you to even get that money back? Bank?
Well, if fraud it's a criminal matter, it's a crime. So that's why finally a report to my police. So that's very important. And unfortunately in this particular case, because it involves a service provider and a bank and the police. A bank ayifuna ukhipha imali ngoba bona according to them that was the right number to send a OTP number to. I understand. Yeah. So, in network provider, no, we asked the relevant question. The person accepted, answered to know a number, then some signs are. So everybody is going to try and protect themselves. So that's why it's important to go to the police so that they can do their own forensic investigation and get to the bottom of it, so that bazo khona ukusolva le nkinga efana nale. But at the same time, kusemqoka kakhulu ukuthi abantu benze sure ukuthi ba protect i-identity yabo, protect i-property yabo, like nama numbers wabo. And then if ever kwenzakala into efana nalezi, as soon as you realize, quickly lodge a complaint, try to find out ukuthi kwenzakalani ngoba in most cases uzothola ukuthi le mali ya transfer kodwa ayikangeni ku the next account. So if you act quickly, they can quickly reverse it.
Okay, all right. Let's try once again with those lines. Ngithatha ubizo wami uNonhlanhla ola eGoli. Nonhlanhla, ngiyakubingelela ntokazi, ubizo wena umbuzo noma umbono namhlanje. Ngiyaphila ntokazi, unjani wena?
Ngiyaphila.
Qhubeka ke sona sami.
I just want to advise consumers because I also got a call 2 weeks ago from a 063 number who said the gentleman, the main person, phone from MTN, is it regards to the SIM swap. Then he asked me if I did a SIM swap. I said, no, I didn't do any SIM swap. He asked me another question, did someone do a SIM swap on the paper? I said, no, I knew that I didn't SIM swap. Then he said, okay, there is a SIM swap doing a number. I was at the mall in Mall of Africa.
Yeah.
There is a SIM swap doing a number. So want to cancel the SIM swap in speed. Let's help you, sis.
Yeah.
It's okay, go ahead. I was a few questions, but okay, is this your number? This is my number. What phone are you using? The phone you using. Then I said, okay, what amount of airtime did you buy? The last amount that you bought airtime for me to not.
Yeah.
Then other silly actually gave me. What is the remaining balance of airtime? I don't know. Fortunately, but it has not logged into WeChat after the recharging. I don't know, because I got suspicious. I don't know. I just guess. I don't know. Here's what I'm irritated. Okay, the next question is to say, what is the airtime that like MTN charges 0 watt rate? Basically, I'm telling it. I found it strange asking me that question because I come from MTN.
Yeah.
You should be having that information because I come from
Yeah.
MTN. It's in front of your system.
Yeah.
Why ask me that question? I don't know. You won't believe. I'm too gay.
Hayibo.
Then she called me a slut. Then I dropped the phone.
Hayibo sisinonhlanhla. So ongichazeleke Bizo kwenzakaleni mhlambe khona imali yakho entshontshiwe. Have you noticed any changes since leyo phone call leyo?
Okay, what had happened? There was a money in account in a bank account, right? I immediately suspected it had to do with the amount as a bank.
Okay, but inamba yakho yona isaqhubeka iyasebenza bakayenzi sim swap.
Immediately I went to Standard to MTN. I was very close to MTN.
Yeah.
You got to call it so. But those people are linked to the bank. What other information do you give them? It's nothing. But no bank checked, but you're protected.
Okay.
But go to ICASA or Yema Prison.
All right.
I call the bank, bank and get it right. So I just want to alert my consumers.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Yeah, ikhona kakhulu.
Siyabonga kakhulu sisinonhlanhla yazi ubizo. I mean, do you want to comment on that very quickly, Rat? I mean, it seems like it's a rampant practice. Abantu bayenza lento.
No, absolutely. And it's good that Usis Nonhlanhla, when she had a hunch that
Something is
was
wrong.
untoward,
Yeah,
she almost responded to that, right? And in this case, there are two ways. One is that it's gut feel. But secondly, and Upaseka spoke to this, to say there are too many things that are too good to be true.
That's true.
Right? In many instances, you'd get an SMS that say that you are on ITC, would like to offer you a loan, and at that time you are maybe in trouble, right? You need to pay off somebody, or you are behind with your rental, or whatever the case may be, and you then tend to respond to those. That's one of the ways that they try and get your information. So perhaps one of the most important things is that do not respond to some of these SMSs that are very tempting, or even communication that is very tempting.
All right, Yilungelo Lakho, in God we trust, everything else you verify. After the break, we're back with more on Simfro Tungaindawo. Welcome back. Mbukeli ngabe uthini wakho umbono ngalolu daba le-sim fraud. Khumbula ke ukuthi ingcingo zethu ivuliwe, ungasishayela usithole lapha ku Facebook na ku Twitter. Inamba zethu 0117146918 or 71469119. Email address consumer@sabc.co.za. I guess guys, I want to read some of the complaints that were sent through by some of the readers here. Let me start with this one. Halda says there was a SIM swap done on my MTN phone in December, and 18,500 Rand was stolen from my FNB account. I've opened a fraud complaint with FNB and MTN. FNB only started investigating from last week, but still no comment from MTN. Zama says, I've also been a victim and I'm still trying to recover. It's the worst thing that can happen to anybody, and I don't wish it upon anyone at all. Strict measures need to be put in place and the culprits need to be punished. The banks need to put and regain our trust once again. And what's frustrating is that the bank's nerve give you proper they don't give you proper feedback. It is like they're trying to cover for one another and forgetting about the end user. So this is really something. I can go on and on and on. These were just some of the few that I've taken out of here. Maybe Lorato, talk to us about some of the most common modus operandi yamalokuzana yamasim scams.
In fact, the most interesting example would be, I think last year, sometime mid-year, ngo July, Unhlanhla Ncisa and Mafikizolo had gone to Kenya, right? And somebody decided to do a SIM swap number yakhe and started extorting people, or extorting money from Abangan Baga Nhlanhla, right? And at least according to the newspaper report, people believed her. And that's the other thing that, so ordinarily we trust WhatsApp, right? So if I see that it's your profile picture and I trust that it is you, I'm not speaking to anyone else that I do not. So when you tell me that, Lorado, I'm in trouble, I'm stuck with Imali petrol, can you e-wallet me Imali? I don't have to ask you, is it truly you? So that's one of the scams that is becoming a lot more prevalent. But you see, the challenge there again is that they knew that Nhlanhla was not in the country. So they are smart in that way that they observe your movements and then they decide that they will do it in such a way that it will be difficult for the operator to get hold of you, right? And that's one of the ones that I'm hoping that consumers will pay attention, particularly because we trust WhatsApp. Absolutely. It has become almost a very close circle of friends, ordinarily where we exchange messages, or even at times we run
those messages are encrypted. It's not like conversation here and go share it with Upasega, with how, you know?
But if you think about how you actually register that WhatsApp, that WhatsApp, I just need my number. Yes. I don't need any other form of identification, right?
Oh my goodness. But Pasek, what do you say to all this?
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, people must try and protect themselves from becoming victims. And then, I mean, according to me, ask questions. You must ask questions. If something comes into a figure, and then you can see, you know, your instincts must tell you. And at the same time, you must start asking questions. Why when into so that before you commit yourself to anything, ask questions. Make sure you protect yourself. And that's very important. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's have a look at some of your Facebook messages. Sizuguti ntini futhi Cindy Skosana says, mina ngicela ukubuza ukuthi ngithenge i-cell phone, a Pepcell, they didn't recap my SIM card. So manje ke mangisebenzisa i-personalized it's personalized matume igama lomunye umuntu engingamazi manje kumele ngenze njani from Phumzile but Pasaka.
Yeah, yabona. This goes back to Indaba Yerika, which some of us have got no jurisdiction over. But it's important. It's important to go to onke SIM card arikwe properly because guna it all as Rika, by Rika nje the whole lot group of SIM cards, and then by taking a strategy about 10 rand, 5 rand, and all those things, and which is so wrong. That's why Google when your name is not Matume, because it's this whole thing you're going to Rika as a group. So all of them is coming a lot. So those are some of the things.
And then who is responsible to fix this issue, Paseg? Who's in the wrong here? Is it the people that didn't recap the SIM card or Gwenzagalen? Because I don't understand. She went to a reputable shop to go and buy a SIM card. They didn't recap it. They just gave her a SIM card. Mega to a personalized from a shop.
Yeah, but Alicia, this is another thing. Not as consumers, finally say take irresponsibility. You know, your SIM card must be recut. You know, when you buy a cell phone and a SIM card, it must be recut. Yes. So final hambe documentation efanele mawubona ukuthi abariki SIM card yakho ask questions why ningayiriki because ngumthetho kufanele uriki SIM card yakho. So it also comes back to us instead of saying banginikeza SIM card abayirikanga ngwriting yahamba. I mean it's a problem. You never know what that SIM card has done before. Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at more Facebook messages before I go to Ulehlo Honolo. Umoletsane Patrick says, I think police are not doing enough in solving such cases. I doubt that ukona olelo baliwe ngokwenza le fraud. This is what we're laughing at, Lorad?
Indeed, and again, the trouble is that people are losing confidence in the police, right? But here's the one advantage about social media. Social media has grown to become call it a customer relations tool. Before you had to wait on a customer complaints line forever, they play music.
Yeah,
now
20 minutes.
If Alicia has at least about 1,000 followers, she can just tweet and say that you guys are literally taking me from pillar to post, and then once they start seeing that, so on our side, and one of the things that we're encouraging is that consumers need to start using the power of social media in becoming activists, in saying that, listen, like in the case where a provider is not coming to the party by being responsive, one of the emails that you read, right? We've seen social media activism almost getting that kind of accountability.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're seeing a lot, where brands are becoming more responsive when there's some sort of groundswell. And perhaps that's one of the things that consumers can actually start doing, but do it responsibly.
Sebenzisa the very same tool abayisebenzisayo to get back at them. Let's take uLehlo from Postmansburg. Siyakwamukela ohlelweni umbuzo noma umbono. Lehlo, can you hear us? All right, it seems like we are struggling with Lehlo from there, but maybe let's go back to this then. Pasaiga, what would you advise our consumers, the first thing to do if you even suspect there's any fraudulent activity that might be happening with your SIM card?
Okokuqala nje abantu fanele mawubona ukuthi la kunenkinga la engage your service provider in the form of trying to lodge a complaint of some sort, and then a service provider yakumnikeza isikhathi ukuthi please resolve my issue. If bangayi resolve within a certain time period, and in most cases insist ukuthi mawuqeda ukukhuluma nabo ukuthi kunenkinga leyo uyibonayo or kune-SIM fraud suspectayo and all those things, they must give you a reference number, a service provider. They must give you a reference to show ukuthi on such and such day ngalesikhathi esithize wafona wathi unenkinga ethize. So that reference number will definitely assist. And then if they don't help you, then you can always come back to us, and then let's see how best we can assist you.
And try the police as well. All right, let's try again with Lehlo all the way from Postmansburg. Lehlo, sekamukela ohlelweni umbuzo noma umbono.
Umbuzo nombono at the same time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, last year December ngalahlekelwa ifoni, and then I had to go ukuthi ngikwenza iSIM swap.
Yeah, Bonses.
Immediately when I get there, I don't know if I had to mention the name of the shop, but then I was told ukuthi I cannot make a SIM swap unless if I get a green light from the company called Sage.
Okay.
I mean, I was amazed because I didn't know those people. It was for the first time that they come up, those people. I've never heard of them. And then I was given a number to call them. I contacted them. I asked them if when did I, for an example, have that contract with them. They couldn't explain what it needs in the contract nabo.
So now wait, Lehlo, let me understand this. You lost your phone, you went to do a SIM swap, you had no contract, you had a pay-as-you-go. And then when you went to do a SIM swap, you can't do a SIM swap because the contract that you were not even aware of.
Actually, akusinhleko as such. They told me ukuthi abantu abanganginikeza i-green light ukuthi ngenze i-SIM swap yiyo le Sage leyo.
Hayibo, and mubabuza ubaphandisisa ukuthi wena ungenaphi kulabo bantu, impendulo oyitholile itheni?
Ngibuze khona lapha esitolo ukuthi no, I don't know those people that you are talking about. Kwasekuthiwa no, we'll give you the numbers of those people, call them, and then ubacele i-letter epermitayo ukuthi sikwenzele i-SIM swap.
Hayibo, and then gcine kwenzakaleni nsizwa, just hurry up so that we can get to the gist of your questions sizokuphendula emva kwekhefu.
Yeah, and then I called those guys, and then they sent me that letter again. Ephuma khona kuleyo Sage company, and then I went with that letter khona laphayana futhi shop lebenyenza yona i-SIM swap, and then I managed ukuthi ngenze i-SIM swap.
Hayibo, awuthi ke ngibuze nje.
The problem is that I don't know the people. Those people are taking 99 rand from my account.
Hayibo.
It's been almost now 9 years.
Lehlo, we have to have the name of the shop and also ukuthi mhlambe iyiphi le service provider leyo obuyisebenzisa in terms of inumber. Very quickly nsizwa.
Okay, i-Vodacom, ma'am.
Okay, and the shop owakuyona?
Vodacom, i-Wealthy Richards Bay.
Nsizwa siqedile sokuphendula emva kwaleli khefu. Mbukeli, ake siphuthume ngasayitolo. We're coming back shortly after this. All right, Mbogele, this is our final segment, and but let us hear a little bit more about SIM swap fraud and how consumers now can prevent themselves from becoming scammed. We heard a call from Uputila Paputpasega. What do you think happened there?
In that case, there's no way a service provider would refer you to some external company if you want a SIM swap. And a network provider must be able to deal with your issue because you are their client.
Absolutely.
So why should they refer you to somebody else? To me, it tells me the person who referred Lomuntulo to another company, Lomuntu sebenzana for a scam, because the network provider won't do that. So our network providers are encouraged to make sure that they protect their clients, they protect their consumers. In as much as ICASA want to protect them, they must also protect them. Because when as the information I'm expecting you to protect my information.
Treat it you
treat it because among a contract, details one. So make sure that you protect my details. So I'm a service provider must be encouraged to do that.
But then, Pasaka, isn't there anything maybe that ICASA is doing to tighten regulation, particularly when it comes to that part of Amalokos and Ama service providers that let abantu fall victim to Ama scammers right under their noses? Because Lama fraudsters, the various Ama systems, abobona labantu.
No, true. I mean, ICASA in our regulations to make sure that we enforce. But maybe the one thing that we need to do as the authorities is to make sure that our enforcement is tightened up. Yeah, and we make sure we close all the loopholes. Like Guaman, there is a case in point that we are dealing with at the moment with one of the service providers. It involves a SIM swap, SIM card fraud. And then somebody's money was taken away. So we are engaging this network provider because we took this matter as another biggest example that we need to show out there, which we can deal with this particular matter.
Absolutely.
So we keep engaging them. But the other thing, ICASA has come up with what you call a consumer advisory panel. We'll be launching it this coming Friday. Emoloko, the capital, Konala, Esantin. So basically that panel is going to look at our complaints of our consumers, our consumer issues, advise ICASA on how best can ICASA deal with those particular consumer issues.
Right.
So that panel will also assist us in that regard.
All right. Laura, to your closing words, when I'm you know, the pros and cons, what to do, what to be mindful of, while ICASA is still looking for a tighter regulation.
I'm honestly hoping that we will not throw our hands in the air because we've lost confidence in the police, right? And we don't want to lose confidence in the regulator. Because
let's be more vigilant as individuals.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Right? So the first one is that it is tempting to want to overshare, but be careful of what you overshare on social media. And that is the responsibility as the user. It's not ICASA or even the operator. But secondly, you know, ordinarily there's this thing you are encouraged that check your health on a regular basis. You must just go and see if you have Swikili or whatever the case may be. You must actually use one of those numbers, call and find out whether everything is still secure.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for that insightful debate. Mbukeli angithemba ukuthi khona ukukhulu okufundile lapho waxoxa mayelana nalo fraud lokukwenzakala ukhwaphaliza or ukhwabanisa mayelana nama SIM card. Ugadi SIM card yakho ifana ne-ID yakho mbukeli ungaphisani ngayo and be very mindful of ukuthi lo information uyipha bani. All right, mbukeli, this is where we wrap up today's program. Luyaphinda futhi uhlelo lethu on Thursday ngo-10 kanti ke ngomsombuluko next week uzobe khona uSimpiwe bringing you another live consumer discussion right here on Yilungelo Lakho. From me, Alisha Akajali, goodbye.